Hello, how is everyone on this fantastic Sunday morning, afternoon, or evening? My Sunday is going alright, in a sense. Usually I'm up around 7:30 or 8 on Sundays, and today I woke up at 10 and I was like, oh no! Usually I have everything ready to go by like 9:45, and I have an hour to just relax. Usually I read some of this book that I'm reading. And today I just reached the cutoff point to get everything ready for the stream. So there's probably going to be some issues today. I don't like running things right up to the limit like I did today. I feel like the stream's going to be heavier than last week's. I don't recognize a lot of the bands, so I'm just going to have to take your word on that one, Signups. I do know that I think the stream's going to be longer, because most of the tracks are in the 5 to 6 minute range, although for whatever reason the randomizer grouped up all the short ones to the last 3. So it might seem like it takes a long time, but we're going to condense down some reactions at the end given that they're shorter songs. Watch this, the rushed out stream ends up having no issues. That would be wild. Your pig's heavy today? Okay, bring on the jank. Oh jeez. As much as I love jank in my video games, I never really intended it to be a part of my output. And here I am. I feel like all the time I'm doing stuff that's just a bit below, like, finished polish. Who do we got here today? We got Damien, Artist Circle, Blake. We had a lot of piratey stuff going on at the beginning. Kind of worried about that. Don't know what y'all are going to try to steal from me. Johnny Truant's here, Synops, Codex Necro, Swarm. Glad to have you all. Probably have a few more people popping in later, and probably a few lurkers as well. Just watching, not chatting, which is perfectly fine. Let's kick this into high gear, starting off with Furor Gallico, Call of the Winds. Lots of waves. I could wave too. Oh wait, can I do... I don't know. Can I do this? Hand wave? Nope, that's not... I don't know my emojis very well, and I probably should be better about it. Bam, I can do this as well. Although I like yours, Codex Necro. It's pink. I don't think I have one of those. That's not in the default emoji thing. Uncle Vlad, glad to have you. Alright, let's get some context on this. Comes from Kipper. Furor Gallico is a folk metal band from Italy. This is the opener of their last album that dropped in March. First emoji in the first row. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a YouTube emoji. Okay. Bam. Showcase that. I totally forgot that YouTube had its own emoji set. I have a hotkey. I mean, it's like Windows period, I think, to bring up Windows one, but I have it set to something else entirely. That's just easier for me to get to. And yeah, I was using Windows emoji picker. Let's see, Furor Gallico's folk metal. This is the opener of their latest album that dropped in March. We got some new music right here. He can wave emoji now? In his hubris, he started to play God. Yeah, we do have Master of the Fermenting Dregs wrapping up today. I think they're the last one. Yeah, Windows plus period. I wasn't quite sure about the period. I knew it was around there. Might have been comma or something, but I guess it is period. It is really nice to pick an emoji even if a specific keyboard or chat window doesn't have emoji support. Toss one in there anyways. Alright, let's kick this off. Call of the Wind by Furor Gallico. Let's go. I do like this album art though. The streak of yellow in the middle. Oh, nice. Oh, I missed Outer Circle coming in with the boxing glove emoji. But that little strip of yellow is nice, and then just the scope of it all, the single person in this large area. I don't know, can you river dance to it? If you can, I'd like to see that. I like river dancing. Female cleans and harsh male, that would fit. Nothing but the most refined of cheeses for folk in Italy. Hey Leon, glad to have you. Room there? Just realized that was your first post today. Dedicated Harpist is very cool. Ah, Codex Necro, you got it. It's interesting, the rhythmic pattern changes every 2 bars. All the layered harshes there were nice as well. Oh, no, that's just my dance pad. I broke it out yesterday, played some DDR, and I didn't feel like putting it back away because I'll probably do some more today. It's interesting to get the drums have so much drive because of their heavy accentuation. Everything else is chill and relaxed. You should use the dance pad to river dance. Only if I have some arrows on the screen to tell me how. There's the left there. Alright, I got this. Left. Right. Oh, Synap's coming in with the emojis. Is that a hurdy-gurdy? I'd like to do that, but I think we're gonna end up getting choked by a wire. Home Depot. I did not get that vibe at all. Yeah, it's heavy enough, but not too heavy. It's still fun. It's still laid back. And a nice balance too, with some of the lighter instruments. I haven't seen a Home Depot commercial in years. I didn't even know they were still around. Is this a hurdy-gurdy though? Because I originally thought it was a tin flute. You know what? The violin is... hello. The violin is snuck under it though. So it might be some texture layering. It is a tin whistle. Okay, plus the violin. Yeah. So do they have two flutists? Or is this person just got some phenomenal circulatory breathing? Or just breath control in general? I don't know how much air pressure is required to get that sort of tone out of a tin whistle. So it's possible it just requires very little air. And they just have a really big set of lungs. Sneak peek into next theme. Oh, yeah. I mean, that is why I think it came up, because it is tomorrow's Take a Pebble, but I don't know why it came up. Spotify, I thought I tweaked it all, so it does one song at a time. Not quite sure what happened there. Mozzarella feels right. Yeah, I dig it though. It's it does a nice job balancing everything. We have the heaviness from the metal side of things, we have the lightness from the folk. I think for the most part, everything was rather harmonious. There was just that one part in like 3 minutes in where we had really heavy metal drumming alongside really light violin work, and it felt rather strange to have this. The song's being pulled in two directions. One was driving and with momentum, and the other one was like, hey, let's smell the flowers, let's chill here for a little. And maybe that feeling of being split apart is purposeful, but everything else in the track, I feel like the more atmospheric folk sections and the driving metal were, they came together in ways that harmonized with each other. Nice festival opener. Yeah, I could see that. Like it's just a good opener in general. Really, it's balanced in a lot of ways. It has heaviness, but it also has lightness. It's beautiful in a lot of places, but there's also like that rule of cool metal style riffage in there. It's just really strong. Looks like you're playing from the album. Am I? Oh, no. Yeah, that does look like I'm playing from the album, but I'm actually playing from a playlist in Spotify, the application. That's just Firefox. You may have noticed that the little play symbol in the middle left never turned into a pause symbol. I don't think, because I never hit play over there. No hurdy-gurdy on this album. Okay, so yeah, tin whistle plus violin underneath. And just, dude, breath control. That's all I have to say about that tin whistle playing. Either that or it's production tricks, which I suppose is possible. Be a little disappointed by that. I'm really disappointed about production tricks to remove the element of breath in production. On one hand, I'm like, yeah, artistic design, go for it. On the other hand, I'm like, no, I want to understand that this is an air instrument, whether it's vocals or trumpet or whatever. I want to hear the breaths. I want to know that this person's taking breaths. I want these stops in the instruments. It always sounds completely unnatural to me, even if I think from an artistic perspective, it's valid. There's always a part of me that gets a little upset by it. All right. Yeah, good way to start the track, though. Is there anything else I wanted to bring up? We did have harsh vocal layering in there at one time. I think it was the end of the second verse. That was kind of neat. I don't remember that coming back up. And just good overall pacing. The way that they balance out their highs and lows. And it didn't feel like a 5-minute song. So that's always a good idea. I mean, a good thing for me. All right. Next up, we have some Daniel Donnet. I feel like I have messed something up there. Donato. I did mess something up there. Had to be. There's just no way that... There is no way that I could have had a perfect stream. Hey, Johnny number 2. Gotta find a better way. We have Johnny Peace, Love, and Metal, and then Johnny Truant. And I want to call them both Johnny to condense things down. Alright, let's see. Current song. Let's put the O back on the end of Donato. Bam. Technical wizardry. Daniel Donut. So this is going to be a 0 track. Someone's going to dislike this a lot. All right. We got context on this. Bringing up donuts as Johnny joins feels fitting. Yep. Although Johnny hasn't thrown out any donuts in Album Club in a while, from my my memory. Which I don't check out Album Club all the time, but I dip in every once in a while. Johnny Peace and Johnny War. Johnny Truant, would you like to become Johnny War? This one comes from Miss Strazzy. This is my submission for the Tasteful Solos week. He has his own country-style jam band. Interesting. Oh, Damien took over the role for a person tossing out the most zeros, most donuts in the Album Club. I didn't know that. Alright, let's dive into some Daniel Donato, Dance in the Desert. Tons of D's going on here. Oh, this is also a reprise, which is interesting. I don't know the original, so I don't know how this reprise works and what kind of recontextualization goes into it. Oh, let's just dive in, see what happens. Yeah, I can make your song last. I just don't know which one it is. Take me a second to get all that figured out. Oh, no, you have auto, right? Oh, you were second to last anyways. You still want that last spot? Very moderate to bad Album Club season. Wow, a lot of stuff people ain't liking. It's just a groove right here. I don't know what I'd classify this as. To me, it's very dancey. This guitar over here is funky. We have a blues guitar center. That's 2 for 2 on Brilliant for you. Maserati and Brilliant both came up in both of our opening tracks. Is there a post-country? That'd be really interesting to check out. It's city. Oh, dang, that's clever. There's another good wordplay, when all borders are abolished. I don't know how to classify this. It's a lot of stuff. I dig it though. There's a very quiet third guitar hand left. And it's just doing rhythmic stuff. Wait, is that an organ? Yeah, it's an organ, not a guitar. Dude, what? Yeah, right? Nobody important. It's like there's so many little pieces of a lot of stuff. Damn it. I was like, what in the world? But yeah, reading top to bottom, left to right. Yeah, my Sunday's going great. I hope yours is too. Being that you're surrounded by friends, probably is. Alright, so there was some words at the beginning, which was just Dance in a Desert, right? That was it. I don't think there were any, like, actual lyrics, just telling the title over and over and over. So majority of the track is this really funky wah pedal guitar work off on the right, organ off on the left, and lead guitar doing this bluesy psychedelic combination melody writing, jam band stuff. Wonder how the original version. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, this is the Reprise. But there's like, when I think of reprises, I think usually in the musical sense, which is bringing back lyrical ideas, maybe with small variations on the lyrics to reflect a new perspective or something like that. Or utilizing the same lyrics, but because the characters went through a specific journey, those words mean something different now than they did previously. There's no lyrics in here. So the reprise is mostly going to be based on the guitar work, which sounds very cool. It's a neat idea. I don't know, it really makes me want to check this project out. Curious how long this out. Oh, it's a 2023 album. Yeah. I'm curious how long the album is, because I kind of want to take it all in, but I don't want to put like 90 minutes aside just to see how this reprise fits into a larger project, especially if it's not going to click with me. Yeah, I'm going to pull that one down to the side. I don't know. I got to do a little bit more research into it. But yeah, so like, it fixes one big problem I have with jam bands though, right? And that is, jamming can kind of get boring. Maybe it's just a part of the solo that you're not vibing with. The atmosphere doesn't always fit well or is conducive enough to stand on its own. Oh, okay, so 65 minutes isn't that bad. I did hear, though, that Friday was a really big release day, and I haven't gotten through Friday's releases. But other than that, I'm caught up on new music. So 65, I could easily do that this week. Yeah. Yeah, I'll toss that in my listen list. See how that goes. But anyways, I liked what the guitar was doing here. Pretty much all the way through. Neat ideas. They do get a bit repetitive, though. I wouldn't say that the guitarist ever really gets outside of their comfort zone. And for those moments where I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. Let's see this going. I go and I listen to the drums, especially the drums rhythmically pushing against the funky guitar over here with the wah pedal. And there's always some sort of groove going on, whether it's dancey or funky or, syncopated, whatever. There's always something cool to move your body to. And by the time that I've listened to that for a little bit, a few seconds, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done dancing. I'm ready to stand still again. I go back to the guitar and I'm refreshed. I can get back into what they're laying down. So, yeah, like I said, this kind of fixes my problem with jam bands by putting something sort of dancey underneath it all instead of just chords, and making sure that it by itself also works as a solid foundation. Jamming tends to feel like I'm the one outside watching other people have fun and telling jokes. I've said that before about jam bands, that in the moment, I would usually much rather be in the band itself and just really enjoy doing that than listening. And it really depends on the situation and the people playing, and all sorts of stuff go into that. But it's the same way I feel about jazz solos too. They're fine on CD, but really I want to be there in person, and usually I just want to be there in the bands. So jamming to me is usually a musician's exercise, at least from my perspective. I know people love jam bands. That's perfectly fine. But for me, it's one of those situations where I'd rather be in the band doing it and listening and vibing than outside it. So I totally get that idea there. They have a few albums on Spotify that look really interesting. Based on, like, album artwork, jamming tends to be oh. I was like, what do you mean by that? And then you said, I'm seeing myself out. I'm like, oh, it's got to be a pun. What is it? And yeah, the physical act of jamming something into something else. And album titles. Okay. Interesting little project then. I'll have to dig more into that later. Alright, we have a song, an artist full of, I don't know. We have Siilk with 2 I's and Dogg with 2 G's. Someone's keyboard gets sticky keys on it. I don't know. How do you come up with that? Why are there so many double letters? Maybe it's not English though. And maybe it makes more sense in whatever. Although the album's called Fall in Place, and that's all cosmic country and western songs. I love that. See, that's intrigue right there. I want to know what's going on with that album. This one comes at us from Christopher with no context, which just leaves me more confused. Let's dive into this. See what Siilk is bringing to the table with Dogg. Dogg. I don't know how to do that. Dogg. No, that's too many. I'm just hitting play. There's also a band with 3 I's. No way. Maybe it's about Snoop Dogg? That would be hilarious. Yeah, the DIMMU track is the video. And when I was doing the audio check on it, it's in 240p, all the glory of that, not even standard definition. Yeah, got some late 2000s new metal energy. Get your Jinkos and wallet chains, 100%. Glad I'm not the only one who got that vibe. Dude, I'm sold. When did this song come out? Oh, I forgot about the pasta scale. That was a good stream. There is no way this was released December 2023. Someone give me confirmation on that. I'm trying to come around on these. Wow, this is brand new revival new metal. Yeah, this sounds old. They've got the guitar tones down, they got the scratching on the records, it has the vocal style. Yeah, dude, this is late 2000s new metal in every element. Brand new metal, the newest of metal. Y'all killing me with this. Do you hear trap? Kessler, glad to have you. Lots of new metal. You're gonna have to show me some of that. Disconnect between the angry vocals and laid back instruments. Yeah, the instruments do kind of give up a little bit of energy from the last section. I'm not engaging with that topic, Damien. Could you imagine a Fred Moreno? Ooh. Very POD. That's what this reminds me of. Yeah. Just the chill, floating in water vibe of the chorus mixed with the aggression everywhere else. Or I guess that's the verse, isn't it? Now I'm curious if that acoustic guitar was always underneath everything or if it got cross-faded in. Yeah, that goes into my list though. That completely went under my radar. I'm not sure about Spotify. They only have 100 subscribers on YouTube though. I don't remember hearing anything about them in December. Granted, it was December 23rd too, which is just, to me, that's a terrible time to release an album. If you release anything after November, first of all, you're probably not getting on anybody's album of the year lists because they're already being worked on. And then you're forgotten because you're not part of 2024. You're not part of the next year. So I don't know why anybody releases any music in December. But yeah, for whatever reason, that just went completely under my radar, and that sucks because I really like that. The goes into my list edition. Well, we're 2 for 3. The folk metal didn't really grab me enough to investigate further, but at least we have, we have Failure ahead, which I already know I like, so I'm probably gonna have to. I don't think I've listened to Failure on my own either, which is stupid because everything y'all have played me I've enjoyed. We have Auto up, so yeah, that song's probably gonna go on my playlist. Johnny does a good job of picking Auto tracks. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I may end up pulling more than my average of, I think usually I pull down 4 songs to check out later. Might have more than that today. Krallis released an album January 1st one year and then another one December 31st. That's wild. Where they fed corn on the POD. Wow. Have I heard the new Vampire Weekend? I don't think so. How new is it? I don't think it's on my list either. Check out Spotify. Oh wait, that's the wrong Spotify. Is this all? This is also the wrong Spotify. Oh, jeez. Too many Spotifys. Let's see what we got here. Johnny. Oh wait, no, I am missing one album. Because Kamasi Washington. It's just because it's like 90 minutes of probably really dense music, and I find it a bit daunting to get into most of the time. I'm hoping, well, not hope, I'm planning when I take my break in July. One of those days I have nothing to do. I'm finally going to get through that. But yeah, so I'm caught up on everything except that, which I'm planning to listen to in the future. Do you check out all the albums posted on Dream Music? I check out the snippets of all of them. Yeah. Spotify puts up little 30-second bits of each track, and I'll listen to usually the opening track, and then I'll skip to like three, and then just something closer to the end, just to kind of get a little understanding of what kind of music they are. And if anything catches my ear, I toss it into my Spotify playlists. Chat only showed up on my computer once I typed a message on my phone. Oh, geez, that's terrible. Yeah, we got some Replicant in today. I didn't know it was new either, so yeah, we have lots of new music that's getting me interested in stuff. Typing in the shower. That sounds very dangerous. Although, so this is ridiculous. One time, I really needed a shower. I don't remember what happened. I must have been doing something that got all sweaty, and it wasn't just like, yeah, I should take a shower now. It's like, no, I need to take a shower right now. But Rocket League, I think it was the grand finals, was playing, and I didn't want to miss it. So I have a clear liner in the shower, and then I have the shower curtain outside of that. And so I took the case off my phone. I put my phone on the inside of the curtain, snapped the case around it so it was connected to the curtain, and then the liner protected it from the water, and I could watch it hanging there like a TV in the shower. It was ridiculous. But sometimes you gotta do it. So just take a fast shot. Nah, man, then you miss like a whole game. Two games even. Definitely recommend the new Vampire Weekend. VODs. Nah, dude, it's like sports, man. You can't watch it not live. It's like the feeling that you can fast forward immediately just disrupts the whole event for me. All that effort when you could have watched it. It's not the same. New gaze? Is that new metal plus shoegaze? You used to play Rocket League? Did you play competitively, Codex Necro, or just casual? I usually pick out the albums that look, sound the most interesting and listen to them as a whole. Yeah, so if it catches my ear, I'll listen to it as a whole. But otherwise, I just pass it by. Sometimes, I get screwed over because I'm listening to at most 90 seconds of an album, usually less than that. Um, and there's been some stuff that I've passed by, and then someone's like, hey, no, you need to check this out. And I do. I'm like, oh, dang, that's really good. I know that I saw it in the new music playlist, in the new music channel, but the samples I got didn't click with me. Got to Champ 1. Dude, that's where I'm at. I'm a Champ 1 in threes. I'm Diamond 3 in twos, but I'm like right on the cusp, which is dumb because I've always been champion in twos, and I just can't. It's not clicking this season for some reason. Maybe I'm getting worse and I just need the extra teammates to carry me for threes. But shoegaze, grunge, but thicker and more distorted. Interesting. Working and missed a notification, listening. All right, cool. Glad to have you, Indigo Raven, either way. Even just listening is fine. I've thought about doing this as a podcast at times too. Maybe not this specific thing, because you lose the interactivity of it, but an audio only format. Because honestly, I don't know how much you gain out of seeing my face. People tell me I make really good facial reactions, but like past the song, it's just 30 minutes of my voice. So I tried that Knock Loose album that everyone seemed to love. Wasn't for me. I'm kind of right there with you, dude. I'm glad it was short. I think it was like 26 minutes or something. I don't know if I could have taken more than... It's too heavy for me, though. I'll say that. It has some cool moments in it, but generally it's just way too heavy for me. The style that Hiiragi uses is super distinct and also has a fascinating Vocaloid sound compared to others I've heard, though obviously this one has Otto doing real vocals. Yeah. 26 is not an EP. To me, an EP is like 5 to 6 songs or 15, 20 minutes tops. I feel like I have to make a cutoff there because like 23 is right around 20. 26 is really not that much higher, but nah, I've got to make a cutoff point there. That, to me, that's an LP, especially since they have 12 tracks, 10 tracks, something like that. They're just really short songs. Oh, it's like, I like seeing your face. I'm like, oh, that's so kind. It's like, that's the entire point of reactions. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. 26 minutes is totally an EP unless it's punk or grinds. I don't know, man. I wonder what the internet says. What do the musical gatekeepers say constitutes an EP? Music EP requirements. Because I think we've had this conversation in Discord before, and everybody has their own opinion about it. In iTunes, an EP is any release with seven... Wait, an album is any release with more than 7 tracks. And if it only has 1 to 6 tracks, but it's over 30 minutes, it's an album. So yeah, according to iTunes, 26 would be an EP, except they have the track count to make it an LP. Spotify is the same thing, 30 minutes or 4 to 6 tracks. Interesting. So yeah, 20 to me like an EP's cutoff is 20 minutes, but it looks like the music industry says 30. But it also requires that track length too. Yeah. See, I'm right there with Kessler. What about Haken's Restoration EP? What's up with that? Folk music is hit and miss for me. It's one of those things where I have to be there for the atmosphere because traditionally folk music doesn't really do much more than that. But Adrian Lenker, I vaguely remember the name, and I have some positive descriptors tied to it, so it's possible I dig that. Yeah, let me write that down. I'll double check that later. If I haven't looked into it before, I'll definitely do it now. If nothing else, to get that second opinion on it. Wait, maybe I did listen to it. Let me pull up my... It sounds so familiar. Let me pull up my media list for music. Sort by alphabetical. No. No, I haven't. I think I was getting it mixed up with Hanavu, which I have no idea if there's any sort of sonic similarity between the two, but Hanavu also had a bit of a more minimalistic sound. Oh, well, that was indie rock, not folk rock, though. Yeah, I'll add that to my list. I'll double check if nothing else. See what's going on there. Just make sure that I'm not missing out on something I would have really liked. Back in the time of vinyl, the smaller disc could fit an EP at 33, 1/3, 2 sides. 33 1/3 of 2 sides. And see, that's the other thing too, is like modern descriptions or requirements are very different from older ones. Older ones are physical based. Now it's kind of abstracted. It's a, well, do we even need EPs anymore? Like, I suppose we still sell vinyls of EPs, so maybe it's still good to have that descriptor, but in the age of digital, I don't really see much of a point in, well, other than pricing. EPs are going to be cheaper, but you can just price per track too. It seems like something that we don't really need much anymore in the way that music has gone. Oh, dang, my battery's dead. Who texted me, though? Oh, I'll have to respond to that later. Singles all the way. Yeah, that's true also. The Decemberists just dropped an EP ahead of the new album in 2 months. Very cool. Did I miss that? Well, like I said, I haven't checked out Friday's releases, but I don't remember seeing any new Decemberists, and I think I liked that album that we checked out a couple months ago. Do we need singles? I like signups. Going the opposite, the opposite opinion there. All right. Let's keep this rolling now that we've found a way to slow it down for a little bit. Let's get some DIMMU going now. Oh, we got sidetracked about the Siilk discussion. I don't know that I had much else to add. Just feels very much like new metal. I need to check out more of it. Screw music. Who even needs music? I don't like music. I certainly don't run a music channel. Do we need music? Real nerd stuff, right? Oh, jeez. I don't know why that cracked me up so much, but I can just picture a comedian saying that. Alright, 15 minutes per side at 33 RPM. Alright, we got DIMMU coming up. Scar text, no context. But I already know what's going on with DIMMU, so let's dive into it and see what they're bringing to the table with the Sacrilegious Scorn. The build into it certainly helps. Alright, this video is in 240p. It doesn't look too bad on a tinier screen down there, but it's so bad for me. Also, this is like a 4.5 minute video, and we're only now getting into the song proper. Oh, still not yet. Oh, there we go. So it's gonna be a 4-minute song tops. The YouTube bitrate. Oh yeah, it's getting further compressed as it goes through YouTube for y'all too, so. Fell asleep to DIMMU at one of their New Jersey metal fests sitting in bleachers. Wow. Nice boots. Yeah. Video's cringe, but the music is good. I'm here for it. Very folk metal. DIMMU was the one we checked out during Symphonic Week. They had a full orchestra touring with them, right? Better armor than Rings of Power? Shots fired, jeez. Oh, that's awesome. See, I remember in the end video, even when it came out, I was like, whoa, this is a bit rough. But I kind of figured, you know, just musicians, just a music video, probably don't have the same budget as Hollywood. But I wonder how bad it looks now. Oh yeah, very cool thing with the violins rising and falling. Ooh. That's a fun little 3/4 idea. Dude, with those two guys with the rings of spikes on their head, I can't help but think of the bat who laughs. And that's just cracking me up. Whew, that was... So, oh, speaking of Surge there in the corner, I think it was Kessler posted that link to the new Surge Tankian track yesterday. I don't want to get sidetracked. I was about to talk about that instead of DIMMU. But I do have my thoughts on that too. I don't know, man. The song, I think, is competently created. It is not my favorite DIMMU BORGIR track that we've listened to so far. The guitar riffing is fine. The drumming is fine. Honestly, I think that the compression on this, the audio compression wasn't great either. But the vocals are well done, the black metal vocals and the big power metal reverb stuff. It just never quite clicked with me in any way that I felt made me want to check out more, which is weird. Like I said, other DIMMU tracks, I'm like, yeah, I gotta look in more of this. Not this one, though. It was a fine track. It did things that it did. I don't have any complaints about it. Really, it's just never quite had that it factor for me. What do you think a DIMMU is trying to say in this video? I have no idea what the video is supposed to be about, though. Yeah, I don't... There's obviously a lot of religious stuff going on here, which it is called the Sacrilegious Scorn. You know, we have the Last Supper, we have the Crown of Thorns, we have crosses, and they're all done in blasphemous ways. They're also wearing, you know, their, what do they call it? The white makeup? Corpse paint? So, I don't know. I appreciate the honesty of it, though. It does feel like, and the thing is, right, black metal music videos, it brings me back to the one, I don't remember what band it is, but In the Woods. And they're just like being super teenagery, you know, kind of cringe, but they think it's cool, and we've all been there. It just, I like it from that angle. I think it's cool, just as the low quality cringe stuff. I'm fine with that. Dude yelled at the cross so hard it started bleeding. Oh, jeez. DIMMU's always frustrating to listen to how basic the metal side is. Just chug for metal tones and slap some strings over it. Their string work is better than most symphonic metal, though. And I do love them for that. Even right there, we had that really cool string run over the Last Supper part. And it did some nice word painting of this rise and fall, which I vaguely picked up a couple words about. I don't know if maybe that was word painting or not, but it felt synergistic to me. But it was done with just a really quick back and forth on the bowing. And there's just this really nice slide up, slide down. It's little things like that that I think elevate them. But does it improve the music that much? I don't know. I'm kind of right there with you, where the metal side is. You know, I think I said this too when we checked out the Progeny song. The one we checked out live with the full orchestra, was that a lot of symphonic metal is a metal band with some strings around it, and I said that that song was an orchestra that had some guitars that gave it a metal edge. And yeah, that's very true. They have very simple metal writing, in my understanding of their works. Sacrilegious towards black metal. A lot of black metal videos seem to be deliberately cringe. This one didn't seem deliberate, though. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't really care about intention too much. If it's cringe, I'm probably going to like it, whether they intended for it or not, just because it's going to give me a good chuckle. Although I suppose if it's not intended, then that chuckle comes a bit at their expense rather than laughing with them. But at that point, whoops. Ow, I punched the table. I said whoops because my initial instinct is, oh, I just, cranked up the volume for y'all. But no, like, that hurt. My initial instinct should have been ow. So that's why you started using Sumer slang. Oh, jeez. All right. Pushing forward, we got, I don't know, man, Suicide King by Veltpunch. In my head, I've been saying Velvet Punch, I think, ever since I saw the request for this a couple weeks ago, and just now I realize it's Veltpunch, and that just feels weird to say. All right. Song Club Export. Very cool. We got context on this. From Kessler, here's one from what Last FM reckons is most listened to band this year. And before, probably I don't have the data for that. All right. That's interesting in and of itself. Let's dive into this and see what Veltpunch is bringing to the table with Suicide King. Oh, you're most... Okay. That's a little bit different. I thought this was like the top album of the year or something. Is that a club? Please slow down. Nah, even with some distracting conversations, they're still doing well on time. I love their harmonies. Yeah, it's definitely in the pop punk. Oh, I just realized that's a walking pad. Kessler's the only one who listens to music. Ooh, what is going on? What? That drum fill was bonkers. Who's just screaming? Is it the drummer? Yeah. Okay. Big shift to rock now. That's impressive. Yeah, it's like a poppy math rock. All that heaviness against the twinkling guitar. Yeah, great bass tone though. I can see that quirky alt rock. Oh, dude, the vocal production's really cool. What? I assume the song's over at this point. Yeah. So, what I was talking about with the vocal production is that in the first verse, the male vocal is dominant. I don't know if it's because the female vocalist is mostly using more of an airier head voice, and so there just isn't as much body, or if there's less volume to it in the production side of things, but it definitely fits underneath and around the male vocalist who's taking up the majority of the space. But in that final section, when the male vocalist was doing those 2 or 3 syllables of harmony, he was the one who was underneath and around her vocals, which sat in the core, in the center. And I thought it was a really cool inverse there. They don't use the same balancing or the same mixing when they have the harmonies. They change it up depending on the situation. And I thought that was pretty cool. The length of the name of the 6th track. Yeah, that's a long one. Mainly a volume slider thing. Okay. But yeah, just, you know, it's not just one size fits all though, and I appreciate that little bit of extra attention put in there. Yeah, this is wild though. I have not heard of them before. I don't think. I'm definitely checking out more though. It's a little all over the rock side of things. There's pop, there's alt, there's noise, there's a little bit of mathiness in there. I'd even say that the twinkling guitar work that we saw in the bridge might even be a bit more towards the realm of a little bit of Midwest emo thrown in there. So you have to keep shilling them in the Discord. Yeah, it is nicely balanced. Like Kessler said, it has this alt-rock root, and it's what they always return to, but they drift just enough outside of that to explore other sounds without moving into them too far to where it becomes an eclectic mix of genres. And so it's a very tasteful combination of sounds. As quirky alt rock, as he called it. And yeah, I think that's a really good description of it. Plus, they have 3 vocalists. I'm down for that. We get harmony in there between cleans. We get some harshes in there. The bass works great. We have 2 very different guitar styles in here. One's very chord based. The other one's very twinkly, melodic stuff, more technical. The drummer only let loose really twice in there, and one of those was just a ridiculous. I don't even know if we can call it polyrhythmic, because I don't know what time signature it was then. I don't know what kind of accent pattern it was using. It was just so, it was pushing so hard against what everybody else was doing. It sounded bonkers. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, this is why I love hearing your thoughts. You hear subgenres. That sounded like a very cohesive sound to me. Yeah. Somebody had mentioned earlier that a lot of Japanese rock just sounds like anime openers. That's that's something I wanted to explore, and I did. I tried to find what I could, and there was a band called Cicada, I think, who did a little what do we like a tutorial video of how to make an anime rock song kind of thing. And it didn't really quite go into the information I wanted, but there is a harmonic process that is similar in a lot of anime openings that also gets utilized in Japanese rock more so than Western rock. And I haven't quite figured out whether it is a mode or certain chord progression. Maybe it is a specific note on top of a chord that produces that anime sound. But yeah, I don't think it's just Japanese music being Japanese music and us having, not being Japanese. I think there's something technical going on under there, and I want to find it. It's the 1/4 movement? That can't be it though. Just one harmonic shift changes it so much from a Western rock sound. I'll have to look into it more. Like I said, last time I kind of turned up empty-handed, but I do think it's a progression. I'm just a little underwhelmed if it's just two chords. I was kind of thinking that it was more of the four chord progression, but one of the chords is very different from what Western rock uses. But just look up any track with the vocalist Lee and any song by One OK Rock. Those two will give you a good idea. Okay. There's a chord progression they use all the time. Yeah. And it's very different from Western rock. Because, I got called out on this a lot when we checked out one of the earlier J-Rock songs. I'm going to say it was probably the Bandmade reaction, my first one back in 2020. And I was like, yeah, this kind of reminds me of anime. And everybody was like, oh, you're just a white guy. You hear Japanese rock, you hear anime. And it was like calling me out on I don't know. And I was like, no, that's not it. Like, there's something musically here that's different. And it was frustrating. And since then, I've wanted to figure it out. And no one else seems to have done this research. And my ear isn't that good enough. So I got to start transposing a lot of anime openings to figure out where the similarities lie. Bandmate did end up doing anime opening. That feels even more vindicating. Ah, jeez. Ah, that's hilarious. Envy from Japan, early 2000s albums. I I don't really know a lot of Japanese rock groups. So maybe we need to do that again. I know we did Japanese Metal Week. Maybe it's just Japanese music in general. I don't remember. It was a long time ago though. But every time that we bring up a country-based theme, it doesn't do too well in the polls. I think the best one we've had was just not in English, and that tended to be a really good theme to put a little bit more of a showcase on other countries' music. But for the most part, it's really hard to get non-European, non-English songs on the channel. Not non-European, non-American. All right. Former vocalist of Crystal Lake even featured in anime opening. It's more likely that sound was already popular in Japan. Oh yeah, 100%. I don't want to correlate that anime has a sound that influenced Japanese rock. It definitely most likely is the opposite way, where it was already a part of their culture musically. Can't wait to suggest an instrumental song for Not in English. Johnny. The loopholes. I feel like there's like 90% of the community, and they play really well. I say, this is the theme, this is the restrictions, and they're like, okay, well, this fits in there. Then there's like 10% of the community is like, how can I fit something in here that's only technically accurate? Only technically fits the theme. I'm just really trying to find the loopholes. Was Baby Metal part of the Japanese theme? I think it was. I think it was. I don't remember what else we did, though. I know we haven't done Love Bite. Someone gets requested a lot, and I have to keep telling people we'll get there one day, and unfortunately I don't have one done in the past for you. Oh, gibberish. Just anything Zool. Rules are fun if you break them. You choose countries, we pick the songs from it. And maybe that's what I need to do too, is take a little bit of the control away. Because, I've done that in the past. Instead of voting on a theme, I'm like, this is the theme we're doing. Put some songs up for it. Maybe I just need to do that a little more often. Love Bites is extremely frustrating. Love the music, hate the vocalist. Wow. The actually guy? Asian bands or South American bands are better when you want to listen to music from other parts of the world. Yeah. I won't suggest a black metal instrumental for the theme. Bought the Replicant album, but only listened to it once. Wow. Tyranny. Y'all give me too much control. I'll start dominating everything. This is my channel. Oh yeah, Replicant is coming up right now, isn't it? Well, Johnny gets that thought out. We're going to do some context. Replicant. Acid Mirror. I don't know why I muted myself. This one comes from Synapse. Just some newly released dissonant death metal from the US. All my favorite words there. Let's dive into this. I was thinking about doing some sort of thing where I was like, Replicant? Replicant? Gestalt? What does it mean? But I completely forgot. We got sidetracked about talking about anime stuff. Which is weird, because that should have put me right on. That would be a really good segue. Do ambient noises from Antarctica count as foreign music in another language? Yeah. No? Wait, foreign music in another... I don't think in another language. I'd go with foreign music, though. Yeah. I think I've made that argument in the past, too. Even academically, I've made this argument. Because there was a question in one of my music humanities courses, was that somebody made a song, but all they did was record like a post office before it was all automated with machinery and stuff like this, and it was a lot of hand-done sorting and stamping, and for whatever reason, a lot of the workers sort of came into a synergy, a rhythmic synergy, and this person decided to record it and distribute it as a song. And the question was, is that music? And I argued it is. Music is a collection of sounds and silence. I don't think intention has anything to do with that. Were they intending to make something rhythmically interesting? No. But is it still music? I'd argue yes. So, if you just record the Antarctic and have ambient noises there, I'd call that music. Now, maybe the noises aren't musical. There's certainly an argument for that. But if you call it music, it's music. I didn't mean to start a tangent with a joke. Well, you got one. Oh, man. We're going to be here another 30 minutes. The music of place, yeah. Antarctica isn't a country, so it's not foreign music. Everyone's getting in on this. Johnny, you started something. Ah, jeez. Alright, let's dive into some Replicant before we get sidetracked again. This one's called Acid Mirror, which is... No, I don't want that in my life. I don't like this album art either. Death metal, though. Let's... Dissonant death metal at that. Let's do it. Did the Office workers get royalties? I don't think they did. Oh yeah, just Coincidental, Johnny. Let's save Yona, y'all. Dang, Keiichi Okabe got real heavy for the next game. Get the cough drops ready. Dude, is that charcoal? You unironically want to leave now? That is definitely a vocal choice. I'm digging the groove, but it's heavy. Wait, this is really how Ollie used to scream? That's wild. Good pacing between some more laid-back ideas and more driving ones like this. So it's safe for like doing a couple recordings, but you don't want to be doing it every night. Yeah, that makes sense. Bro, if those are the real lyrics... Wait, legit? Oh, so a little bit more than just like bare minimum, but still just not every night. Oh, okay, the breathiness is the problem. See, I don't know this kind of stuff. Interesting bit of ambience, atmosphere to contrast all the aggression. Bass led, I can get behind that. Interesting dissonance in the atmosphere too. It isn't abrasive, it's just there. I love when death bands do that. Just a very simple, usually one instrument drum fill. This case was the bass kick. Ooh, the layered screams. Oh, you got lucky, Johnny. Oh, jeez. What in the world? Psych, yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling. I honestly had no idea where they were going, but yeah, to the heaviest part of the song, apparently. Oh yeah, it's a clever part. These transitions though are just so absurd on a first listen, and it's killing me. Wait, this is yeah, like I enjoy where they went. It's just how we got here. It cracks me up. And this is how it ends. There's like 20 seconds left, maybe. No, we're still in acid mirror. It it does go into the next though, doesn't it? That's a very harsh stop there. Yeah, that was wild. Definitely death metal, very heavy. Some nice groove throughout. Interestingly, some nice atmosphere throughout. That's not something I typically relate to death metal. Um, the pacing is nice overall. Pulling back on the speed, pushing forward on the speed. Intensity also. Volume is pretty much at one level the whole time. I'll give them props for the vocals. They're not my cup of tea, but they're different than the generic kind of death metal vocals. They feel more personal to this vocalist, so I'm always down for that. Playfulness and aggression, yeah. And then the end of the song, we just have a bunch of wild ideas. I do like the idea of bringing the volume down a little bit. There's not a lot of volume contrast in the song, and we only drop down maybe 5 dBs tops. And then pushing right back, not only bringing the volume back to max, but having the most aggressive part with the most amount of attacks in it, and then having that lead us into that spacey, psychedelic synth idea to wrap the song up. Yeah, it's a wild way to wrap the whole song up in. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, but I appreciate the stylistic choices throughout, the separated a bit from other death metal groups. That's all I got for that one. Uh, to follow that up, not my cup of acid. Definitely not my cup. I have no cups of acid. I refuse to drink such liquid. Is acid a liquid? I assume so, right? Yeah. I mean, it can be. It could also be like a sludge. But there's liquid or acid rain, which would be a liquid acid. So I'm not drinking it anyway, though. Not in a house, not with a mouse. Next up, we got some failure. This one comes at us from Indigo Raven. This is a long one. Oh yeah, there is acid LSD, so there's that too. And yes, carbonated drinks technically have an acidic part of the pH scale. So, okay. Is sludge a liquid? It's a very viscous liquid. That always makes me think that it's not, but it certainly isn't a solid or a gas, so you're probably right there. Let's have a 15-minute segue about acid. One of the few times science is going to pop up on the channel. Science and me don't really get along too well. I enjoy the concept of it, but my brain just refuses to remember anything about it. I got solid A's and B's throughout pretty much every course in primary school and university. But science, man, that always the D's, C's. I got an F in my 6th grade science class. It doesn't stick with me, man. I'm so intrigued by the way the world works, and my body's like, bro, you don't even need to remember that. Is sludge metal liquid metal then? Ooh, that's good. What pH level is that track? Oh, geez, that would be an interesting rating system. Get the litmus paper out, yeah. What is a solid if not a liquid with very high viscosity? Wait, okay, like I said, I'm not a science guy, but that sounds plausible to me. How plausible is that? Let's get through this context because we got like 4 pages. Sludge Metal's T1000. I like that. That's good. Taken from their live concert film, We Are Hallucinations. I choose the song for 2 reasons. 1, you haven't seen them play live, and 2, this is a song off their first album called Comfort. They made this album after only being a band for 6 months. Over the years, Ken has been very vocal about the fact that this album didn't really turn out the way they wanted it to from a production and compositional standpoint, and recently remastered the album. Overall, I agree with his assessment, but it's still a good album with many gems. This song is pretty straightforward, but I love the vibe and the grit. Cool. I love Failure. I don't think I've listened to anything from their first album, so this will be cool. Liquid metal sounds extremely disgusting for some reason as a genre name. I was gonna say it reminds me of something Liquid Metal, but no, it's actually Liquid TV, which was MTV's animation block back in the 90s, which stuff like Aeon Flux came from. So, not familiar with this band. They are hard rock, alt rock, somewhere in that area, or at least what I've heard from them. I don't know what they were doing in their first album. What is solid if not liquid persevering? How long until we get the Metal Gear Solid stuff going on in here? Liquid TV sounds messy. So the album was a failure? Yeah, actually it sounds like it. The band leader was not happy with it, so like another obscure grindcore subgenre. I could see that. Liquid music, liquid metal being grindcore, that makes sense to me for some reason. All right, let's run into this. We got some Failure with the song Macaque? M-A-C-A-Q-U-E. Macaque? I don't know. How do you pronounce that word? I've never seen anything like it in my life. Let's dive into this one, see what's going on. Splashcore. Okay, that's actually a cool title. I want to make that music. You heard what I said. It's French for a species of monkey? Okay, so it's 3 syllables then, right? A monkey? I have a real hard time seeing that pronunciation out of those syllables. Optimistic name for a band. Alright, cool. Macaque. Like the bird? Not a monkey. It's 3 syllables. Okay. That's what I was guessing if it was French. Oh, Macaque. Yeah, like one of those that I pronounced. Yeah, Damien's French. That's why I'm definitely taking his syllabic breakdown. Yeah, definitely very Nirvana though, as Sign Up said. Very atmospheric, strong bass here, laid back. A little bit of aggression here. The vocals are all very light and ethereal though. This is pretty cool though. This is from 2022, is that what I saw? They certainly look a bit older, and last I heard is that the band's disbanded. So it's cool to see them coming back and putting this together. No, the vocals don't. Very chirpy, trebly guitar work. Well, I remember this band being from the 90s, I think, early 2000s. Oh, wait, am I thinking of a different band? No, I'm thinking of Failure, I think. I don't know anymore. Yeah, I'm definitely the target audience of this. I do think that that song works best in the album as a bit of a... what would you call it? Albums from 92. Okay, earlier than I thought. What in the world? I think that song works best as an album track, something to sit in between maybe some more dynamic songs. It is not my favorite Failure song that I've listened to so far, but like I said, I do think it works within an album. Oh, I think it is Nothing. Let me look real quick, because we've done an album for both Nothing and... Well, we've done an album for both the band I'm thinking of and Failure. Oh, no, I'm thinking of Ruben. Let me see this album art a bit clearer. Yeah, I'm thinking of Ruben. Also, I just noticed I have a typo in the description for the Ruben album reaction. That's fixed now. So yeah, I think I'm getting Ruben and Failure mixed up as far as their backstories and stuff like that. So yeah, disregard what I said about Failure disbanding and then coming together for a reunion show here. I have no idea if that's true. And as far as I know, Ruben has never come back together, so there's that. But yeah, a very simple song. I don't know that there's a lot for me to latch on to here. It's a vibe. You really got to enjoy it because it doesn't do anything else. The vocalist doesn't really ramp their vocal delivery up to match the intensity of the music at any time. It's just the music doing what the music do, and you just got to be there for it. Not true of Ruben either. Okay. They came back together in 2014. This performance was from their last tour. Okay. And this song came out in 92. Yeah. The requester did say that this was from their debut album. Came here just to see Brian react to Artificial Brain. That's coming up next, right? Yeah, just in time. Then this is the best Failure track you've heard, and no. No, we've heard other Failure. We've done an entire Failure album. Fantastic Planet, I think is what it's called. And I certainly love some of those tracks more than this one. The vocalist was just there. Did vocals out of necessity. I don't necessarily think that. Primarily because I don't think the song would have worked well without the vocals. It would have been too static, too minimalistic. But because I do think the vocals add a little something to those sections too, though. Alright. Static Shattering from Artificial Brain. As I said, out of necessity. You mixed up band. Oh, yeah. I think the vocals fit perfectly. Yeah, I mean, we're moving on. I don't know that I have anything to add to it. I don't want to get on a big side tangent about the vocals for that track. It's actually better live than on the album for the previously stated reason. It's not as punchy on... Oh, because of the production, yeah. This album, along with the first from AB, are in my top 50 albums of all time. Wow. Alright, Jason. Brutal death metal with black metal influences. Let's dive into this. See what's going on with Artificial Brain. I mean, I'm prone to getting sidetracked. It happens. You're stalling to avoid this song. It's an interesting little 3/4 here. Calling for more tangents. I mean, the song did kick off at like full intensity. I can see that. Got some squealy stuff on the sides. It's an interesting way to divide up a 3/4. So it's like alternating 2 and 4 rather than doing 3/3/3/3. Oh, that bass. I miss those whistle layers. I'll have to keep an ear out for them. Dude, that rumble is something. It's such a slow fry creation. What's with all these songs singing about flowers? Yeah, I kind of figured they were overtones. Another song though that's using really dissonant dyads on the guitars, but it's not really abrasive. It's just an interesting little texture on the sides. Eighth octave? Dang. I mean, it's whistle, but still. Y'all coming in with these fake lyrics. Wait, that's it? Oh, it was only a 4-minute song. Okay. Yeah, that's Synapse had mentioned that they almost seem intellectual in comparison to other death metal bands. And I've been thinking about that comment. There's something a bit more experimental here, but it isn't just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. It feels like a band who pushes the boundaries just enough because they understand how to do it, and that they aren't experimenting per se. They're just writing more progressive ideas. What do you mean these are fake lyrics? Um, and I find that really interesting because the bass does some cool things here that really aren't too progressive when you look at progressive metal, but is certainly a bit more beyond what I would expect out of traditional death metal. It puts them in a really odd space where I wouldn't call them tech death, but I don't feel comfortable just calling them death metal either. There's some cool drumming ideas, the rhythmic pattern of the 3/4 groupings into 2 and 4 instead of just 3/3/3. Even the vocal variety and the skill. Johnny had mentioned some whistle tones going on. We have the higher range, nasally harshes towards the end of the track. That really low, slow gurgling vocal down there. There is a lot of technical elements going on here. Yeah, I was disappointed. I don't know if I would say I was disappointed. It was just unexpected. I thought it was a 6-minute song. It felt like 4 minutes, and it was only 4 minutes long. So by that means, it should have been expected. I just didn't think it was that short. I love bands that are so comfortable with the sound that they know how to push it in ways that sounds good. Yeah, 100%. And that's what I think is going on right here. The gurgling is probably quieter. Wow. See, I love that commentary you bring to the table about vocals, Johnny. I feel like I learned so much about singing from doing these live streams. I've always wondered about that too, how often any sort of harsh vocals are boosted in production, where maybe they're a bit quieter in their raw recording of it. High goblin screeches are incredibly loud. That's just wild. Compressors and saturation and distortion. Yeah, that's what I use when I do harsh vocals. If you've ever heard any of my songs where I do harshes on them, it's probably like 50-50 what I'm making and what I've produced them to sound like, because I'm not a harsh vocalist. I'm just making weird noises with my voice and trying to modify it to where it sounds like it would fit in a metal song. um, you can hear them across a small stadium. That's bonkers. Um, really fast guitar players playing really soft. Yeah, and that's economics as far as I'm concerned. Less muscle usage so that you can do it for longer, better stamina, let something else handle the volume. Yeah, that just makes sense to me. A gentle harsh. Yeah, we can go with that. I don't ever think I want to show anyone my raw recording of my harsh vocals because it's embarrassing. People were surprised when I had that man, what was that fake band name I came up with for the April Fool's black metal track? Forest of Obsidian, is that what I called it? People were like, dude, those were you on vocals? I'm like, if you really heard what I put there, though, you would not be as impressed. You were impressed with the final product of it all. I'm basically using auto-tune for, for harsh vocals at this point. uh, they can't sound like worse than what it used to sound like. I might do that. If I ever really wanted to get serious about doing harshes, I would definitely get some pointers, whether from you or anybody. I know Mary Z does stuff too where she helps people with their harshes. I'm just not at a point where I'm like, I need to take this seriously right now because it's just a fun little thing. I'm still trying to figure out how to make the music I want to make. My harsh vocals amount to yelling into saturation. See, I can get behind that too. Maybe I'll do that, Johnny, over the summer when I have a bit more time or a bit less time, depending on. I mean, summers are weird, but yeah. Oh yeah, back to this track though. I just enjoy the way that they push the boundaries just a hair bit. Again, not far enough to become technical or progressive, but enough to stand out from the rest. And I think that they do it in a very tasteful way that absolutely amplifies the sound they're going for, while never really getting too far away from that core death metal sound in a way that might alienate a prospective audience. Raspy harshes without murdering your throat. The thing is the vocals that I want to emulate the most are the ones that are destructive, the ones that people stopped doing. Usually you would only hear them on the first couple of albums because they either did destroy their throat, or, you know, they finally got enough money, were big enough, and somebody came in and was like, no, you got to change this up. So that kind of sucks. The ones I want to emulate are the ones I shouldn't. All right, we got two more ahead of us. This one is Johnny's. Johnny PLM. Gotta put that clarification there. Oh wait, no. I put his last. That's right. He requested to be last today. So it's not Johnny's. I don't know whose this one is. We're gonna find out in a second. It's Mass of the Fermenting Dregs with the song Asahinagu. From Amos That Book. No context on this one. Let's dive into this. See what's going on. For a band called Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, it's a very beautiful artwork. So I'm kind of confused here, right? That's a name. Let's dive into this, see what's going on. Bringing the cheese topic back. Yeah, the band name does not match any of this. Very chill and laid back. Mark. I still have never watched Neon Genesis, and I feel like at this point, if I do, it's just not going to live up to the hype. I think I'm just going to leave it as this nice thing that I should do one day and never do. I don't know. I want to say that's a joke or RTQ, but at this point, I don't know. Yeah, this is some straightforward Midwest emo. A little less twinkly than an actual a Western band would do. A little bit more of a pop rock flair to it, but I'm getting strong emo vibes from it. Genesis never lived up to my hype. flowers. This would have been a fantastic way to wrap the stream up. And I'm really curious how the auto track is going to do that now. Just like how this song has sort of, it's energetic, but it's really chill. And after having quite a few heavier tracks, it's a nice way to just drop the energy of the stream down a little bit to wrap things up. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Very emo pop rock vibes. Pop emo? Nah, it's like pop rock with a dash of emo. Particularly in the melody writing of the guitars. It just feels happy and bright throughout most of it. A little twinkling of some negativity, but it's really more of a balancing act more so than introducing anything that's supposed to be sorrowful to the song. It's still predominantly more of a positive track. Lots of chord work. We do have the 2 guitar solos. I enjoyed them. Someone brought up Dinosaur Jr. I don't know them too well, but it does have a very indie rock vibe as far as the melody writing for the guitar goes. Catchy vocals, strong bass work, consistent drum work. It's a simple song. I don't know that I have much to add to it, but it absolutely nails the vibe they're going for. And fits the album art too. The song is very pretty, it's well crafted, it's very clean. And the way that the album art is drawn, the way that it has its colors and all that stuff is also very clean. It matches, it's very just colorful overall. Does not match the title of the band at all. But everything else is rather synergistic. This one's going to bring the energy back up. Okay. Now you're just saying words. Pop, rock, emo, or some combo of that. Midwest emo reminiscent. That's good. You can always go on a bunch of tangents to bring the energy of the stream down. I wonder how many people come here and we listen to a few tracks of music and then we'll just divert into talking about language or something, and then they're like, wow, it's been 15 minutes and we're still talking about how words work. I'm dipping out of this stream. The tangents actually send people away. That'd crack me up. Oh, man. Alright, so yeah, I don't think I have much else to add to that. It's just a very... It's a fun track, yeah, but it's a smooth track. Nothing in it that's really abrasive or aggressive in any way. Just, it's nice to reside within. Alright, then we have this thumbnail. Side note, before we get to my song choice, the vocal production leading into the chorus has a subtle but immaculate aesthetic choice, and I want to see if you notice what I mean. Okay. Only the strong survive the tangent. The whole album's just a good summer album. Oh, tight 30 minutes of alt rock. Yeah, I can get behind that. I forgot to pull that down. Alright, does not look like this is going into Brian's list stream, because we have 4 bands that I pulled down. I'll probably pull down Otto, but I already know that I like her output, so yeah, it's average. I pulled down 4 to 5 today, just like always. Nothing different happening there. Alright. I don't know if Johnny had any context prior to giving more context right here. Yeah, groovy Vocaloid song with some hella nice production, vocals covered by Otto. This will be a twist from the stuff you've heard. That's interesting. Alright. I don't know what to make of any of this. Let's dive into this, and I assume I'm in for some interesting stuff. Let's go. I'm on board already. Nice electro swing thing going on here. Yeah, this is fun. I wonder if there's a real song called No More Songs Today. Oh yeah, this isn't Vocaloid. This is a vocal cover of a Vocaloid song. Yeah, I guess that does prove your point. Dude, this is just a fun song. Oh, I didn't even hear that. It's clear. Okay. Dude, those higher ones? Yeah, I figured that was her. I mean, the whole thing that my whole image of her is her vocal dexterity, which we're honestly getting less of in this track than I like. But, yeah, there's the other one. Oh, I can't... I was going to tell you the title of the one in the top left, but I can't read Japanese, so... That's the one we checked out last time. That one, I still listen to that every once in a while, just because it is a very cool song, especially, I mean, not just from the music, which works too, but just from the vocal dexterity of it. Diablo Swing Orchestra Light? Nah, Diablo Swing Orchestra is wild and eclectic. But they do both utilize a swingier sound within a modern style. So yeah, I can kind of see that angle there. Very enjoyable. That's exactly how I appreciate that. Definitely less of a spectacle than the other one was. The vocal production thing I mentioned is the warm lo-fi distortion throughout the track slowly fades away during the chorus build-up and begins to sound clear. Yeah, I didn't pick that up at all. But if it was only on the vocals, that's probably why. But that's a neat little idea, too. Is there a purpose for that? This is the simplest song that HiiragiKirai made. See, that's the other thing. For whoever was asking about the song, HiiragiKirai made the music and had a Vocaloid sing it, and Otto made a cover of it with her human vocals on top of the original. So yeah. I caught some kind of difference, but couldn't have told you what it was. And see, I'm kind of curious to listen to the Vocaloid version, but when we checked out the other one and I went and listened to the Vocaloid version, I was very underwhelmed. Otto's version is just so much better on the last one that I'm kind of in that same position now of, do I listen to the original or just live with this one, which I probably like more. But yeah, I mean, just like last time, I don't really have a lot of comments about the music. It is what it is. It's really good electro swing. Got a good beat. It's got cool syncopation. I love the melody lines from the instruments. And that's it musically. There's some nice ornamental ideas here and there, and the production's very crisp and clean. And there is a bit of vocal dexterity in here too. She does have those really warm, resonant lows in a couple of places. She hits those really high notes on the second chorus, I think that was. But this is a more restrained song than the last one we heard from her. So, I've never heard someone make a beat drop with random sound effects like squeaks and bells. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And definitely got to show. My kid loves electro swing, and I feel like this art style is also going to be right up her alley. So definitely got to show this to her. Can we submit tracks to you to listen? If you are on Patreon and you're in the $5 tier or higher, you get one selection every month. Next week, I don't quite know what I'm doing though. We only have 4 out of 10 song slots. And so that gives us like half of a stream that I don't know what to do with yet. So I don't know, maybe I'll take live requests. Maybe we'll just go with the flow and whatever seems right, we'll just head into. I don't know. But next week's going to be open in some format or another. The Vocaloid that Hiiragi uses for this song sounds very different from the ones I think you've heard. It's kind of raspy and low, which makes sense by auto mimic that. Yeah, I might go ahead and check that out then. I'll see if I can find it. All these look like covers, though. If you have a link to the original, I would appreciate it. Toss it up in Discord or something. Yeah, I'll check that out later. All right. That wraps it up for this week's stream. Tomorrow we got super groups coming in. Kicking it off with ELP, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, I think. We're probably going to be doing special selections all week again. I don't know if maybe Friday we'll do a new song. Haven't quite figured that one out yet. But we've been backlogged on special selections for a little bit. I want to get those caught up a little bit. Because, we did a week off, and then we did International Jazz Day, so that took a couple of special... Yeah, I just want to get caught up a little bit. How do we decide between the 10 plus songs we want to recommend? Bro, that's a question for y'all. I could not do it in your shoes. I think about it all the time. I'm like, if I was the patron in this situation, trying to figure out one song a month to get me to listen to, or picking songs for themes and stuff, I don't know. I'd be so lost. This stream's the LP, but next week's the EP. Touche. Except one of the tracks is just going to be me rambling about stuff for half an hour, which is definitely going to push it in the LP area. Alright, y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Like I said, we're kicking off tomorrow with super groups. And, yeah, and for those who care about the Nier Replicant playthrough, Wednesday we officially start playthrough B, which is really exciting. If you want to watch me, twitch.tv/criticalcomposer, Wednesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alright, so that wraps it up for today. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you later.